Today, we're focusing on environmental considerations in real estate. This is a crucial topic as the industry increasingly recognizes the importance of sustainability. Building value in real estate now goes beyond traditional factors like location and price. It also includes sustainability, resilience, and responsible development. These elements not only contribute to the long-term success and market appeal of properties, but also help protect our environment. Understanding these considerations is key to making smarter, more future-proof investments in real estate. When we talk about why environmental impact matters in real estate, it's important to understand that it's no longer just about the physical structure or location. Environmental performance now plays a critical role in determining an asset's value, its operating risks, and how attractive it is to tenants. One major factor is market demand. Buyers and renters are increasingly prioritizing sustainable properties. Then we have regulatory requirements, which are becoming stricter, pushing the industry to meet higher environmental standards. Climate risk also cannot be ignored. Properties vulnerable to climate change face greater financial risks and insurance costs. Lastly, investor expectations are evolving, with more investors focusing on sustainable, environmentally responsible assets. All these environmental considerations are shaping the real estate landscape today, making it crucial for anyone involved to factor them into their decisions. When we talk about the real estate industry's impact on the environment, one of the most significant points to understand is its carbon footprint. Buildings and construction are responsible for about 37% of global energy-related and process-related carbon dioxide emissions. This means that more than a third of the world's CO2 emissions come directly from activities related to real estate. Considering this, environmental considerations in real estate become crucial. Addressing how we design, build, and operate buildings can play a major role in reducing these emissions and creating more sustainable urban environments. This is why the industry must prioritize green building practices and smarter resource management to help combat climate change. When we talk about energy efficiency in building design, it's all about reducing operating costs and emissions right from the start, even before a tenant moves in. One key factor is the building's envelope, using better insulation, advanced glazing, and effective air sealing to minimize heating and cooling needs at their source. Then we have smarter HVAC systems. By integrating efficient equipment with zoning and controls, we can keep spaces comfortable while significantly cutting down energy waste. Lighting also plays a critical role. LED fixtures combined with daylighting strategies and occupancy sensors help lower electricity consumption throughout the entire building. Importantly, these energy-efficient features are not afterthoughts, but deliberate design stage choices that lock in performance for decades, benefiting both the environment and the bottom line. Here, we're looking at 4 key frameworks that are widely used to demonstrate environmental performance and market credibility in green building. First, there's LEED, which is probably the most globally recognized system. It rates projects based on energy efficiency, water use, choice of materials, and indoor environmental quality, all through a points-based system that helps benchmark sustainability. Next is Passive House. This standard focuses heavily on minimizing energy demand by using airtight building envelopes, superior insulation, and high-performance ventilation systems. It's very much an energy-first approach aimed at ultra-low consumption. Then, the Living Building Challenge is one of the most ambitious programs out there. It pushes projects to achieve a net positive impact, not only on energy, but also water, health, and materials, setting a very high bar for sustainability. Finally, BREEAM is a leading method in Europe. It assesses sustainability across the entire life cycle of a building, from design all the way through to operation, making it a strong choice for European projects. These 4 frameworks each offer different pathways to proving environmental responsibility in real estate, highlighting the growing importance of sustainability in the industry. Smart water systems play a crucial role in managing water resources efficiently. They help lower operating costs by optimizing water use and reducing waste. This not only lessens the demand on municipal water supplies, but also enhances our resilience during challenging times like droughts or extreme weather events. When we talk about water management and conservation, it's about reducing overall demand and finding ways to capture and reuse water effectively. Designing landscapes that can thrive with less water is a smart environmental consideration, especially in real estate development. By integrating these strategies, we create sustainable environments that are both cost-effective and environmentally responsible. When we think about emissions reduction, it's important to realize that the location of a building plays a crucial role even before construction begins. Site selection and urban planning are foundational to minimizing environmental impact. Choosing locations that are compact and pedestrian-friendly encourages walkability, which means fewer cars on the road and healthier daily habits for residents and workers. Access to transit options like rail, bus, and bike networks is another key factor. This proximity not only reduces commuting emissions, but also enhances the long-term appeal and value of the property. Another important environmental strategy is to focus on brownfield remediation. By redeveloping impaired or previously used sites, we can prevent urban sprawl, restore land value, and ease the demand on undeveloped greenfield areas. Ultimately, the location strategy we choose is itself an environmental strategy, shaping both the sustainability and success of our real estate projects. Now, let's focus on biodiversity and natural habitat preservation. Protecting native ecosystems is crucial because it not only supports the environment but also enhances the development itself. When we preserve these natural areas, the development becomes more resilient to environmental changes and challenges. This resilience means the area remains stable and functional in the long run. Additionally, projects that respect and incorporate natural habitats tend to be more livable. They create healthier, more attractive spaces for people to enjoy. Lastly, this approach actually increases the value of the property over time, making it a smart investment both environmentally and economically. So, considering these environmental factors is essential when planning and developing real estate. When we talk about reducing VOCs, or volatile organic compounds, the focus is on cutting off-gassing at the source. This means choosing low-emission paints, adhesives, and finishes that release fewer harmful chemicals into the air. It's a proactive way to improve indoor air quality right from the start. Next, ventilation standards play a crucial role by ensuring fresh air rates are adequate and using high-performance filtration systems. We can dilute pollutants before they have a chance to build up to unhealthy levels. This constant turnover of clean air helps maintain a healthier indoor environment. Material selection is another important factor. Specifying healthier options for flooring, insulation, and furnishings means that the everyday exposure to harmful chemicals is minimized. These choices contribute significantly to cleaner indoor air over time. All of these elements, VOC reduction, ventilation, and material choices, link directly to indoor air quality and occupant health. They're key environmental considerations in real estate, impacting not only comfort but also the long-term well-being of building occupants. When we assess building materials, it's crucial to look beyond just the installation phase and consider the entire life cycle. Embodied carbon, for example, is locked in well before a building even opens its doors, so understanding this upfront impact is essential. Starting with sourcing, we evaluate the extraction of raw materials, their impact on the land, how far they have to be transported, and the sustainability of supplier practices. The origin of materials really matters here, since these factors contribute significantly to environmental impact. Next, production is a major hotspot for carbon emissions. This includes the energy used in manufacturing, emissions released during processes, water consumption, and the intensity of material waste generated. Addressing these areas can help us reduce the overall carbon footprint. During the use phase, we focus on durability, how often materials need maintenance, the health of the occupants, and how well the building performs operationally over time. Choosing materials with greater longevity can significantly reduce environmental impact throughout the building's life. Finally, at the end of life stage, we consider reuse options, recyclability, what happens to demolition waste, and disposal methods. Designing for recovery here helps close the loop and minimize waste. The best practice is to compare materials across all 4 stages: sourcing, production, use, and end of life, with the ultimate goal of lowering the total environmental impact rather than only focusing on upfront costs. This holistic decision lens ensures more sustainable outcomes in real estate development. When we talk about climate resilience and flood risk mitigation, the key idea is to plan ahead for more intense rainfall, storm surges, and increased surface runoff. By incorporating features like elevated systems, absorbent landscapes, and permeable paving, properties can remain functional even during extreme weather events, which significantly lowers long-term risks. It's essential to keep runoff flowing efficiently, maintain high storage capacity for excess water, and ensure that critical assets are protected by being positioned above potential flood levels. Ultimately, designing with water in mind allows us to create environments that are better equipped to handle flooding while supporting sustainable real estate development. When we look at the financial impact of investing in green building strategies, it's important to understand both the costs and the savings involved. The initial capital investment tends to be higher, typically around 2 to 8% more, because you're investing in better systems, higher quality materials, and certification processes. This includes efficient HVAC systems and building envelopes, premium equipment, and tighter building performance standards. In addition, costs go into design analysis, commissioning, compliance work, and incorporation of on-site renewables like solar panels, energy storage, and advanced controls, which all contribute to raising the upfront spend. However, this upfront green investment usually pays off over time. The energy savings alone can be substantial, roughly 20 to 30%, with additional maintenance savings of 10 to 15%. Buildings can also command a rent premium of about 5 to 10%, reflecting their higher value in the market. Typically, the payback window for these investments falls between 3 to 7 years, though this can vary depending on factors such as asset type, local utility rates, and available incentives. Ultimately, these investments lead to stronger net operating income and greater resale appeal, more resilient. Environmentally conscious assets tend to command better pricing, making this not just an environmentally responsible choice, but a financially sound one as well. When we look at regulatory and building codes, compliance has expanded significantly. It now covers federal rules, local planning controls, as well as global disclosure standards. At the federal or national level, minimum performance requirements focus on building envelopes, HVAC, and lighting systems, all governed by energy codes. Emission standards are becoming stricter, particularly with operational carbon limits and reporting obligations. Moving to wetlands protection, development approvals increasingly depend on thorough reviews of habitat and water impacts, highlighting the importance of environmental sensitivity. At the state and local level, zoning regulations play a crucial role, determining site coverage, setbacks, density, and land use compatibility, all factors that directly shape design. Stormwater rules are also tightening, requiring retention, runoff control, and the use of permeable surfaces to mitigate environmental impact. Cities demand regular benchmarking, with annual disclosures of building energy and water performance becoming mandatory. On the international and market standards front, certifications like LEED and BREEAM are influential, shaping expectations among lenders and tenants. Climate-related considerations, such as ESG reporting and transition risk disclosures, are increasing transparency across real estate portfolios. Finally, resilience criteria addressing flood, heat, and adaptation measures are growing in importance, guiding how assets are evaluated and underwritten to ensure long-term sustainability. Here we have a developer case study that highlights an impressive transformation. A former industrial site or brownfield parcel was redeveloped into a high-performance asset. This project achieved LEED certification by incorporating adaptive reuse techniques, which means they repurposed existing structures rather than building entirely from scratch. They also prioritized using low-carbon materials and generating renewable energy on-site. The outcomes are quite remarkable. The building now uses 38% less energy, which significantly cuts down operating costs. Additionally, potable water demand was reduced by 45%, easing the strain on local water resources. Beyond cost savings, these environmental strategies have boosted tenant interest, creating stronger demand for space in the building. This case perfectly illustrates how thoughtful design and sustainable practices in real estate can yield measurable benefits, both environmentally and financially. It underscores the crucial role environmental considerations play in the future of real estate development. When we look at environmental considerations in real estate, one of the key points is that 75% of workers prefer sustainable buildings. This growing preference is driving higher demand for green certified spaces. These buildings don't just attract more tenants, they also help retain them, which is crucial for long-term occupancy. Another important aspect is the benefit of lower utility bills. Energy-efficient buildings not only support the comfort of occupants but also significantly reduce operating costs, making them more economical to maintain. Beyond the financial savings, having a stronger brand presence is increasingly important. More and more occupiers want their workplaces to reflect their environmental, social, and governance commitments. This alignment with ESG principles boosts reputation and supports corporate responsibility efforts, making green real estate a vital consideration moving forward. When we talk about procurement focus in the context of supply chain and sourcing, sustainability plays a critical role. First, it's important to prioritize materials that are reclaimed, recycled, or rapidly renewable. This helps lower the environmental footprint right from the start. Next, vetting suppliers is essential. We need to ensure they meet high standards for emissions, fair labor practices, and traceability. This accountability guarantees that every link in the supply chain aligns with our sustainability goals. Lastly, sourcing locally not only reduces transportation risks, but also significantly cuts down embodied carbon. By focusing on low-impact inputs and working with responsible partners, we can make more environmentally conscious choices throughout the real estate process. When it comes to retrofitting existing properties, the most effective upgrades start with the building's shell, core systems, and data. First, it's essential to audit the building thoroughly. This means conducting energy, envelope, and water assessments to identify where performance is leaking and where improvements will have the greatest impact. Next, prioritize upgrading the building envelope. Enhancements like improving insulation, upgrading glazing, and sealing gaps should come before resizing equipment or adding new energy generation. These steps ensure the building retains energy more efficiently. Then, modernize the core systems by replacing outdated HVAC, lighting, and control systems with efficient, electrified alternatives. Incorporating smart monitoring can help track performance and optimize energy use. Finally, phase the retrofit work carefully around occupancy to minimize disruption. By sequencing improvements thoughtfully, you can protect tenant operations while quickly capturing measurable energy and cost savings. Overall, retrofit programs can significantly cut emissions much faster than waiting for full redevelopment cycles. The key message here is to upgrade what already exists before constructing new buildings, making environmental considerations integral to real estate management. Here we're looking at how on-site systems transform buildings from being mere consumers of energy to active energy assets. By integrating renewable energy sources like solar panels on rooftops and facades, we generate clean power right where it's needed, reducing transmission losses and boosting efficiency. Batteries play a crucial role by storing this energy, allowing buildings to shift peak loads and maintain power during outages, which greatly enhances resilience. Smart controls then connect everything by balancing the building's demand with the capacity of the utility grid and any local microgrids, ensuring optimal energy use. The key takeaway is that the best results come when generation, storage, and grid strategies are designed in unison, rather than in isolation. This holistic approach not only supports sustainability goals, but also adds significant environmental value to real estate assets. When we look at climate risks, it's clear they're reshaping how assets are exposed to potential damage. First, flood and storm losses are becoming more frequent and severe, leading to higher repair costs, more downtime, and greater volatility in insurance coverage. Then we have heat and wildfire pressure, which is driving a rise in claims, especially in vulnerable regions and specific building types. Another critical factor is transition risk. Stricter building codes and regulations mean that older or outdated properties could become liabilities if they don't keep up. To manage these risks, several insurance mitigation strategies come into play. Risk-based underwriting is essential. By using site-specific hazard data before acquiring or renewing a property, insurers can better assess and price the risk. Resilience upgrades are also vital, strengthening roofs, improving drainage, enhancing cooling systems, and installing reliable backup systems can significantly reduce vulnerability. Additionally, diversifying the portfolio by balancing geography, asset class, and deductible structures helps spread risk. Ultimately, better resilience not only lowers potential losses, but also helps maintain insurability, which is crucial in an evolving climate risk landscape. This integrated approach between insurance and risk management is key to addressing environmental considerations in real estate. When we think about community impact and social responsibility in real estate, the best projects do more than just develop a property. They create value that extends into the surrounding community. This means improving access, health, and opportunities for local residents. Environmental performance takes on greater significance when it benefits entire neighborhoods, not just the individual site. Shared public spaces like parks, plazas, and shaded walkways are great examples. They enhance livability by providing areas for relaxation and gathering, while also helping to combat urban heat and manage stormwater runoff effectively. Inclusive development is another key aspect. By incorporating mixed-income housing and easy transit access, projects can promote social equity and ensure long-term sustainability. Finally, building local trust and improving public health are crucial. Cleaner air, safer streets, and community amenities foster a supportive environment that residents can rely on and take pride in. Altogether, these environmental considerations in real estate help create spaces that are healthier, more equitable, and beneficial for everyone involved. Emerging technologies are transforming the way we approach green real estate, and digital tools play a crucial role in measuring, predicting, and reducing a building's environmental impact. First, smart building systems allow us to automate lighting, HVAC, and occupancy responses, which significantly cuts waste in real time. Then, IoT sensors provide constant monitoring of temperature, leaks, air quality, and space utilization across every asset, giving us detailed insights to better manage resources. Moving further, AI-driven energy management systems help forecast demand and optimize operations, continually improving building performance. Lastly, blockchain technology creates reliable, verifiable records for carbon data, sourcing, and sustainability claims, ensuring transparency and trust in environmental efforts. These innovations are key to making real estate more sustainable and efficient. This slide focuses on ESG reporting and the importance of transparent accountability, structured around three key pillars: environmental, social, and governance. Starting with the environmental pillar, we measure carbon intensity, expressed in kilograms of CO2 equivalent per square foot, which helps track operational emissions by asset. We also look at energy performance in kilowatt hours per square foot, reflecting both usage intensity and improvements from retrofits. Water use is another critical metric, measured in gallons per occupant, covering consumption, reuse, and leakage. Moving to social factors, occupant health is prioritized through indoor air quality and thermal comfort, which directly impact wellness outcomes. Tenant experience is closely monitored through retention and satisfaction rates, signaling demand for premium spaces. Additionally, community impact considers local job creation, accessibility, and how properties add value to neighborhoods. The governance pillar emphasizes board oversight with clear accountability and ownership of ESG targets. Data integrity is essential, requiring auditable disclosures and consistent reporting at the asset level. Policy coverage involves risk and compliance controls aligned with vendors, codes, and ethics. Overall, standardized ESG metrics make environmental performance visible, comparable, and investable. This creates tangible decision use benefits, such as guiding capital expenditure priorities and market use advantages, supporting thorough investor due diligence. The ultimate outcome is higher trust and reduced reporting risk, ensuring ESG factors are integrated effectively into real estate management. Here, we explore some leading global examples of sustainable real estate. showcasing how cities can combine high performance with market appeal. First, Singapore stands out by integrating greenery, water reuse, and energy-smart towers, setting a benchmark for blending premium real estate with strong environmental performance. Next, Copenhagen demonstrates how dense urban development can be paired effectively with low-carbon mobility and resilient urban systems, making sustainability a core part of city life. Lastly, Amsterdam focuses on advancing circular materials and adaptive reuse on a large scale, emphasizing resource efficiency and innovation. These examples highlight practical ways that sustainability can be embedded throughout real estate development, from district planning to building design. When we look at the challenges and barriers in environmental considerations for real estate, the first one to address is upfront costs. Often, implementing efficient systems and using resilient materials means higher initial capital investment, which can be a significant hurdle. Next, knowledge gaps play a big role. Many teams may not have the technical expertise needed to properly evaluate, design, and operate green assets, which can slow progress. Another major barrier is regulatory inconsistency. Standards, incentives, and permitting processes can vary widely depending on the jurisdiction and the type of asset, creating confusion and complexity. Market perception also impacts adoption. Some property owners still view sustainability as optional instead of an essential way to protect and enhance value. Finally, data and measurement challenges cannot be overlooked. Reliable performance tracking is often fragmented, spread across different buildings, vendors, and tenants, making it difficult to get an accurate overall picture and manage improvements effectively. These obstacles highlight why it's crucial to address both technical and perceptual issues to advance sustainability in real estate. As we look ahead, net zero buildings are set to become the new standard in real estate. Over the next decade, assets that are low carbon, climate resilient, transparent with data, and designed for healthier occupancy will be highly valued. Regulations are going to get stricter, with disclosure requirements, emissions limits, and performance-based codes becoming the norm, not just in leading markets, but across the board. Investors will respond quickly, pricing sustainability into their decisions at a faster rate. Buildings that are efficient and resilient will benefit from lower operating risks, increased demand, and ultimately, stronger long-term valuations. One key trend to watch is that retrofitting existing structures will surpass new construction. This means current property portfolios will play a major role in efforts to decarbonize, electrify, and deliver measurable environmental, social, and governance improvements. This shift highlights how important environmental considerations are becoming in real estate, driving significant changes throughout the industry. As real estate professionals, turning environmental intent into operating discipline is crucial. First, we need to assess the portfolio by benchmarking energy, water, emissions, and climate exposure across all assets. This gives us a clear picture of where we stand. Next, investing in training is essential. Equipping our teams to evaluate building performance, risks, and retrofit options ensures well-informed decisions. Using certifications like LEED or Energy Star provides a trusted framework to guide these choices. Along with this, setting green standards is key. We should embed efficiency, low-carbon materials, and resilience into every project brief to create truly sustainable buildings. Measuring and reporting outcomes consistently and disclosing progress with credible metrics helps maintain transparency and accountability. Finally, building strong partnerships with tenants, suppliers, utilities, and city officials allows us to scale our environmental impact collectively. These 6 steps form a practical roadmap for integrating environmental considerations deeply into our real estate operations.